Type preferences really show a lot of the larger picture. They show how people want to engage in the world and how they're going to avoid certain activities. They also are going to show how these activities and environments are going to affect people at work. The extroverted preference is someone who likes a lot of variety and action. They're faster and they dislike complicated procedures. They're often very good at greeting people and being with people, and they're impatient with long and slow jobs that take difficulty. They're interested in activities of their job. They're very task-oriented. They want to get it done, and they also are interested in how other people do the tasks. They don't mind interruptions, especially text messaging or the telephone or people knocking on their door. They enjoy those interactions. They, however, will act quickly, and sometimes they act so quickly that they forget to think things through. They're people-oriented and they communicate very well. An introvert needs quiet for concentration. They're going to be very careful with the details of a job, and they're going to avoid any kind of sweeping argument or sweeping statement. They have trouble remembering names and faces and tend not to mind working on one project for a long time alone, especially if they get to be uninterrupted. They're interested in the details, the tasks, and the ideas, even the motivations behind their jobs or their projects. They dislike any kind of intrusions or interruptions, and they like to think a lot before they act. And sometimes they are going to think quite a bit before they act. They are independent workers who prefer to work alone, and that means that they sometimes have difficulty with communication because everything is inside of their head, remember. A sensing person likes to focus on the here and the now. They're very present-oriented. They rely on standards to be able to solve problems, do tasks, and they dislike any kind of problems or work which does not meet the standards of an organization. They are going to use an established order of doing things, and they enjoy using and perfecting skills that have already been learned more than learning new ones. They're going to work steadily with a regular pace in a very step-by-step manner, methodically, especially when they reach conclusions. And they're very patient with routines. They prefer routine details. However, they are impatient with complication. They very rarely are going to say that they've been inspired, and they're very rarely going to trust any kind of inspiration because they enjoy facts more than that. They will very rarely make any kind of error in facts, and they tend to be very precise when they work. They're going to create something new by adapting something that already exists. An intuitive preference is going to be more future-oriented. They like to see what might be. They're going to solve new problems in unusual ways out of the box, and they dislike anything routine or solving it in a routine way. They dislike doing things in the same way, and they enjoy learning a new skill more than using it. They work in great bursts of energy with great enthusiasm. However, you're going to see that their energy drops down with laziness or slack in between each of those. They are able to understand quickly, and they're very impatient with routine. They are, however, patient with complex situations. They follow their inspirations, whether it be good or bad, and regardless of what the facts say or the data. They frequently make errors in facts because they prefer to see a big picture, and they dislike taking time for precision. They will, however, create something new with personal insight. The thinking preference is analytically oriented. They like to put things into logical order, and they don't really need a lot of harmony. They are, however, a little more firm-minded, meaning that they're very determined, and they don't tend to show very much emotion. They get very, very uncomfortable when they have to deal with other people's feelings, and they tend to hurt people's feelings without ever really knowing it. They decide things impersonally, and sometimes they pay insufficient attention to what other people want. They need to be treated fairly in accordance with whatever they feel are standards or rules. They are able to reprimand other people impersonally, although they don't like to do it. And remember that they tend to respond more easily to people's thoughts because they are analytically oriented. The feeling type needs the harmony. The harmony is the foundation of their type. More than anything, they need that. And their efficiency is going to be extremely uprooted and disrupted if they have any kind of disharmony in their life. They are sympathetic and they're aware of other people's feelings. They enjoy pleasing people, even in things that are most unimportant and irrelevant. They often let decisions make their own and other people's because they are more interested in the likes and dislikes than the facts, and they need a lot of praise and personal attention. They do not enjoy dealing with any unpleasantries, especially having to reprimand someone else. A judging types works best when they can plan. They are planners and they like to get things settled and finished quickly. However, that means sometimes they decide things a little too quickly. They may dislike to interrupt a project that they're on, even if there's one that is more urgent, and they may not notice new things that need to be done or need to be completed. They only want the essentials in their life, and they tend to be satisfied once they reach a decision. In contrast, the perceiving types is very adaptable. They love change. They prefer to leave things open, and they will tend to postpone decisions because they are always collecting some new piece of information. They will start too many projects and have difficulty finishing them, and they are going to postpone unpleasant jobs to find other ones. They want to know all about a new job. They tend to be curious and welcome a new light on a thing, a situation, or even a person.